Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. This week, I've hosted shows in D.C., Boston, and New York.
Tony Kornheiser. Someone sounds obsessed with I-95. I-95.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of stuck out here now. You know, I could come back to I-94, but, you know, the Bucks are gone. The Bulls didn't make it. The Pistons are gone. So I'm here. You know, I'm the next best place.
I think next week you should just do a show from Philadelphia and then a show from Baltimore. You cover the entire waterfront that way. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. Today's episode, the Cavs and Celtics need wins. The Golden Knights are upset about a trip. And Rafael Devers wants no part of playing first base for the Red Sox. But we begin today with Minnesota crushing Golden State by 24 points last night, 117-93. Anthony Edwards shook off an ankle injury in the first half, played the second, and finished with 20 points. Steve Kerr set a playoff coaching record by playing 14 players in the first half, trying to find combinations that would work with Steph Curry out. Wilbon, do you see this loss for the Warriors as dispiriting or constructive?
Tony, neither. I see it as the reality of last night. It was a foregone conclusion that that game was going to go that way, and anything else would have been surprising. And I think that was what was really interesting was Steve Kerr trying to, yes, he was searching, to use our dear friend Brian Windhorst's word from this morning, to find the combinations of people that might be able to produce some kind of offense in the absence of Steph Curry. And the fall off is like off a cliff from when Steph Curry's on the floor offensively for Golden State and when he's not. And so Kerr's trying to find that. And you know what he's got? He's got until this weekend when he needs to find it, like tomorrow, because they need to win one of the next two games at home. The Warriors need to win one of those. So they were going to get beat last night. They got it to 7 a couple of times in the third, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty encouraging. That was. But then the game finished. Minnesota finished the game as the Timberwolves should finish in that situation. No Steph Curry. No team in the league, you can include Minnesota, is going to really go through the playoffs without its best player at this point. It's not going to happen, nor for Golden State.
Yeah.
They got to get Curry back. If they can get him back for game 6, but they got to win one to extend. So Kerr and the whole team searching for what to do until then.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you almost right down the line. I don't find it dispiriting at all for the same reasons. Everybody in the world knew that Minnesota was going to win that game. I sat on this set yesterday. I told you that Minnesota was going to drum Golden State.
Yes, you did.
So if anything, if these are my choices, I do find it constructive in the sense that Steve Kerr is out there, as you say, looking for some way and some people that he can depend on, that he can hold on to. But it's only theoretically constructive because it's really an exercise in limitations. No one person can replace Steph Curry. No combination on that team can replace Steph Curry. I want to point something out. The one thing you didn't say that I will say here is I'm a little bit surprised that nobody had ever played 14 players before, though in a half, that's probably unreasonable.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr would have played 24 players if they let him sign 10 more players at halftime. What people need to understand is this is coaching 101, and Steve Kerr knows what he's doing. He did not play those 14 players for last night's game. He played those 14 players for the next game.
Right.
He's
Absolutely.
trying to figure out the next game because he's got to win one at home to keep his head above water to keep the series going.
Tony, I will disagree with you just a little bit. Jimmy Butler has, and I think still can, load up for a game or a game and a half. Jimmy Butler, he may not be able to get you 50 right now, but he can get you 40 to 45, and he may need to do it either tomorrow or Monday in San Francisco. Let's see. And then the others can support him. But Jimmy Butler's done that before. Let's see if, man, I'd love to see if he has it in him. In the Eastern Conference, both the Cavaliers and Celtics entered their game threes on the road down 0-2. Injured Cavaliers, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter all participated in shoot-around this morning and are aiming to play tonight in Naptown. Meanwhile, Celtics star Jason Tatum says he needs to be a lot better in tomorrow afternoon's matchup with the Knickerbockers. Tony, do you have more confidence in the Cavaliers or in the Celtics coming back to win their series?
I have more confidence in the Celtics, and I have that because of their road record. They had the best road record in the NBA this year. They were 33-8 on the road. They were 2-0 in Madison Square Garden. And over the last 4 playoff seasons, they have a fantastic road record, Mike. In the last 4 playoff seasons, just in playoff games, they are 22-9 on the road. That's better than they are at home, where they're 23-16. They are plus 13 on the road. In that same period of time, the next best team is plus 3 on the road. So I have more confidence in them. Cleveland has injury issues. As you said, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter are all affected here. Didn't play in Game 2. There's this optimism, obviously, that they're going to play in Game 3. But to what degree are they going to play? They contributed 53 points a game to Cleveland. If they give Cleveland 53 points, Cleveland is going to win that game. But is that a realistic number? It doesn't seem so to me.
Yeah, Tony, I agree with you right down the line here. And Cleveland, Tony, we always see teams when you introduce one really good player who needs the ball, it's difficult to do it that first game. And Cleveland doesn't have that many cracks at this, down 2-0 already on the road in Indianapolis. Yeah. So I'm with you there, even though, yes, you want Garland and you want Hunter. Yes, you want those guys back, Mobley. But I'm with you. Look, the Celtics, not only, Tony, is their road record impressive over recent playoffs, but also the fact is that even though I think they behave like a cult with this, obsession with three-point shooting, fact is, if they get hot enough in a quarter to make 2 more shots in each of the games they lost, they wouldn't have lost them.
They win.
That's right.
If
they shoot 27% from 3 instead of 25%, they win. And you got to think they're going to drop some threes. But, Tony, the Knicks haven't had a great game yet either. Not a great game. They've had great closeouts, but not a great game.
What concerns me is there was a report today that at a film session yesterday, the Celtics coaches and players agreed to keep shooting. If they had an open shot, keep shooting. That means they're doubling down on the three. And to this point, they're 25 out of 100 on the three. So when you and I talk about a plan B, it doesn't appear that a plan B is in their minds at the moment.
No.
It doesn't seem to be. All right. As always, we move to hockey for our third story. Both Washington and Edmonton won last night. The Capitals won in regulation to even their series with Carolina at 1-1. The Oilers won in overtime to take a 2-0 lead over Las Vegas. But an apparent tripping penalty on Edmonton was not called in overtime. And in the very next sequence, the Oilers scored and won the game. Wilbon, do the Golden Knights have real beef about the missed tripping call?
No. I wasn't sure it was a trip anyway, and I was watching this live at 1:20 a.m. Eastern time here in my hotel room in New York City. No, I didn't think it was real beef. First of all, the call was dubious. You could have made, if you make the call, you go, okay, you make the call. But also, the Golden Knights had gotten away with some stuff earlier in overtime and in the third period that could have resulted in Edmonton having an advantage. So I don't want to hear that. Let me just say this. Connor McDavid to Leon Draisaitl in overtime was an absolutely thrilling goal to watch. Connor McDavid with a head of steam, putting a crossover on a defenseman and getting the puck to Draisaitl. Bang, bang. It was just wow. It was unbelievable, Tony. Yeah. The speed and the fury and the beauty of that goal. And by the way, they had hit a post and a crossbar Edmonton had in overtime. They should have won earlier. So I don't want to hear from Las Vegas, now down 0-2 with the series moving to Edmonton. Capitals game was like you could have played it in the library compared to the other game. Good win. The Capitals had to have it, down 0-1 at home. But Edmonton, again, that series got some juice to it.
So that was the classic can opener. The can opener that we've seen so many times over the years. You understand that's what that play is called, Mike, right? That's the can opener where he sticks the stick between the guy's legs and knocks him into the post. So here's where we're going to disagree. I do think that penalty should have been called. What's the difference? Well, Vegas is going to have a power play, and instead they lose the game, right? And they watch as their player walks straight down the tunnel when he just had his head smashed into the boards, and then 17 seconds later, the play you're describing McDavid to Draisaitl happens, and Edmonton walks away. So I didn't think there was justice in that last night. But what I think is also true, Mike, is that Edmonton right now appears to be kissed by magic. They have had 6 straight comeback wins in the playoffs. They've been down in these games, 3 at home, 3 on the road. They scored 29 goals in that period of time. And Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, only has 1. He has 9 assists. But if you think it's not working,
great assist last night.
McDavid to Draisaitl. That's all you got to worry about. That's, and I'm happy for the Caps. I told you the Caps would win and the Caps won. I'm happy for the Caps. Let's take a break. Excuse me. Coming up, Rafael Devers is refusing to play first base for the Red Sox. Refusing? What is the word for that?
And what would be the best way to describe Mikko Rantanen getting a 3rd straight hat trick? Well, maybe he could go around Eichel. That's what McDavid did. He went around Eichel, and Eichel, was a pretty good defensive forward. So,
sure. No. McDavid and
Pardon the Interruption is brought to you by
Time for the honorary doctor to spin humane letters into winning words. What's first?
Rafael Devers' refusal to play first base for the Red Sox is blank.
My word is discouraging because it feels like insubordination. I mean, the Red Sox pay Rafael Devers $331 million over 10 years. He got bent out of shape when they brought in Alex Bregman to play third base. He publicly criticized it. How's that working out now? Let me give you these numbers, Mike. Bregman's batting .318 with 9 homers and 30 RBI in 38 games. His OPS 988 is 5th in the majors. So now the first baseman gets hurt, and the general manager suggests it'd be nice if Devers goes and plays first base, and Devers refuses. All right, he says, no, you made me the DH. You took away my glove. You took away my position. It's an unbelievable series of quotes. And that's petulant, and that is insubordinate. And you know what? If I was the Red Sox, I'd start looking to trade him. Because you can't have a player on your team who refuses to play. You can't have it.
Ooh. Tony, one of my favorite sayings is more than one thing can be true. And I think that's what we're looking at here. So my word is conflicting, as in I'm conflicted over this. You're absolutely right. I mean, for 100 years, guys played multiple positions all the time, even some of the great players. I mean, Ruth is extreme because he pitched and played the outfield. But I mean, even, for like 30 years, Pete Rose played like 8 positions. Guys just did this as a matter of course in Major League Baseball. So you look at Devers and you say, what are you talking about? On the other hand, they got to have some utility players, defensive aces who are better utilized at first base. And they did indeed. They look schizophrenic. They asked Devers to do this one day and this Tuesday and that Thursday. And I sort of get it. I would be annoyed at it too. So I'm conflicted. I think I'm going to come down on the side of try to play some first base. Do the thing that's good for your team.
Help us out.
They're paying you all this money, but the Red Sox didn't cover themselves. But they didn't cover themselves in glory on this one either.
They made a good trade, though, because Bregman's a better third baseman.
Bregman's working out well. Yeah, absolutely.
What's next?
It would be blank if Mikko Rantanen were to post a 3rd straight hat trick tonight.
Vander Mirian. I know you will love that word. Third straight hat trick. It's never been done, and it's not going to be done right now. I mean, look, first of all, if you're Winnipeg, you got to shadow this guy everywhere he goes. You cannot give him any open space whatsoever. When you get 1 hat trick, some people notice. When you get 2 hat tricks, everybody notices. And if you get 3 hat tricks, you're going to the Hall of Fame. This guy can score. And there's no question about that. Over the last 5 playoff years, Mike, there's only 2 guys who've scored more points ahead of him. And that's McDavid and Draisaitl. And they score all the time like they did last night. He's got 77 points in 56 games. But a 3rd hat trick, no, not going to happen.
All right, Tony. So for all the reasons you just outlined, my word is ditto. It is Vander Mirian. Of course, 2 is the magic number, the number that will never be surpassed in baseball, because to tie it, you got to have 2 no-nos. To break it, you got to have 3 no-nos. Nobody's having that, not even Nolan Ryan. So we're not having that. All right. And the third hat trick, it is possible if you probably throw an empty netter in there, but they are going to be shadowing him. You are absolutely right.
Yes,
you cannot let this guy destroy you. You're the number 1 seed. You've got to get control of this thing right now, and you can't have him scoring every goal, although it's a wow that he's done it twice. Just think about this. Wayne Gretzky didn't even do this.
He didn't do it.
That's how impossible it is. No Gretzky, not happening.
It is impossible. That's the final word. Let's take one last break. Still to come. Giants rookie Abdul Carter picks a number after getting rebuffed by LT and Phil Simms' family.
Ooh, family blockage. Nikola Jokic won game 1. SGA won game 2. Who's going to win tonight's game 3 between the MVP candidates?
Did this guy want 56? He wanted LT's number? Are you kidding me?
You're not getting LT's number, homie. No.
Stop it.
You're not. No. No. Get out of it.
Happy time, people. Happy 30th birthday, Tommy Edman. The Dodgers' jack of all trades was the MVP of the NLCS last season when he batted .407 and drove in 11 runs in 6 games against the Mets. Edman came to the Dodgers at the trade deadline last season from the Cardinals, where he had played second, third, shortstop, and the outfield. With the Dodgers, Edman has played second, short, and center. He's 5'10", was an unlikely cleanup hitter in a lineup that features Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez. Before getting injured this season, Edman had played 24 games at second and 9 in center. He was batting .252 with 8 homers and 24 RBI, and he has scored 19 runs.
Tony, certain jealous teams make a big deal of the Dodgers spending a lot of money, and they do. But they also have superb scouting. They scout, they draft, they develop. They will take advantage of you and fleece you if you're not careful. It's not just spending money. The Dodgers know what they're doing.
Happy anniversary, Al Horford. On this day 3 years ago, the Celtics veteran center had his greatest playoff game ever, scoring a playoff career high of 30 points to lead Boston over Milwaukee and even their series at 2-2. Horford shot 11 of 14 from the field and 5 of 7 from 3. On defense, Horford hounded Giannis Antetokounmpo into missing 18 of his 32 shots. Horford, who won 2 NCAA championships at Florida, was a key cog in the Celtics winning the NBA title last season, averaging 9 points and 7 rebounds in the playoffs. These playoffs, not so much. In 2 games against the Knicks, Horford is 4 for 17 from the field and 1 of 10 from 3. He's averaging a career-low 6.6 points this postseason.
Horford has never been what you call a star, but this is not a coincidence that when you have championship teams, you've got Al Horford, college or the NBA, hanging around, being a really valuable player offensively, defensively. I'm sure he's a great guy in the locker room. And so you know what? You want to win a title, I know it's a little late to get Al Horford now, but you better find somebody like him, clone him.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's probably a really good teammate. Happy trails to a Browns reunion for Nick Chubb. Browns GM Andrew Berry told 92.3 The Fan today that it's, quote, increasingly unlikely, unquote, that the team re-signs its 4-time Pro Bowl running back. Chubb ran for a career-high 1,525 yards in 2022, but blew out a knee in week 2 of the following season. The current free agent returned to play 8 games last year, but averaged just 3.3 yards per carry versus a career average of 5.1. The Browns just drafted 2 running backs, Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State in the 2nd round and Dylan Sampson from Tennessee in the 4th.
So Chubb got that return out of the way last year when it takes that first full year just to acclimate and then you really come back. That will be this year. I can think of a team his name is going to be connected with as a free agent signing, Tony. You want to guess?
Bears. The Bears.
Yep.
The Bears. Yep. 2 corrections. Rafael Devers' contract is $313.5 million, not $331. And the Red Sox did not trade for Alex Bregman. They signed him as a free agent. My bad both times. But Bregman's hitting lights out. And Devers ought to try to help the team. Let's go to the big finish. Giants rookie Abdul Carter settled on number 51 after being rebuffed on retired numbers 56 and 11. Your thoughts?
The greatest player in Giants history, in my book, wore 56, and 11 is a quarterback of a Super Bowl team. You can't have the number. Just find something else. The Rockies dropped the doubleheader to the Tigers by a combined 21-3. Your reaction?
They stink. How long is the manager going to keep his job? 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao will come out of retirement to fight Mario Barrios for the WBC Welterweight Championship on July 19th. Are you excited?
Not in the least. Leafs-Panthers game 3 tonight. Who you got?
I got the Panthers tonight. And last one, Thunder and Nuggets game 3 tonight. Who are you leaning toward?
I think the Nuggets better get this one. If they're going to really get any control of this series at any point, they need to get this one tonight.
We're out of time. We will try and do better the next time. And I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, Knuckleheads. You can get the PTI podcast on the ESPN app or Apple Podcast. Tone, come on up. Go with me to the Garden tomorrow. Tickets are only $20,000.
For the Cavs due to injuries. What's the latest on whether they'll play tonight, starting with Garland?
Kevin, I'm told all three, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter, are expected to warm up tonight with the intention of playing here in this game 3. And Darius Garland, for his part, has missed the last 2+ weeks with a big toe sprain. It's something that's really been nagging for him. It's a pain tolerance injury. It's restricted his mobility, but he was a participant in shoot around. He is itching to play. He's told teammates, people in that organization, he is planning and expecting to play. Evan Mobley, on the other hand, he's been dealing with an ankle sprain. He struggled to put weight on it after game 1, but he also is trying to play here tonight. And DeAndre Hunter dealt with some swelling in that thumb of his, which had a dislocation in game 1, but he is also expected to try to play tonight. The swelling has decreased. Everyone on this Cavs roster understands the importance of tonight's game. Down 2-0, they're itching to try to play tonight.
Good stuff, Shams. I'm sure we'll get an update in the next 90 minutes, whether it's here on SportsCenter or later on NBA Countdown from you. Thank you so much. Here's star Donovan Mitchell today and what's at stake for his team.
I ain't got no choice but to win these games.